Howdy, 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 my name's Nanachi Sasuke, and I didn't know that the Homestuck Epilogues were already done! Last I heard, they were updating a couple pages every week, and I saw people posting about it on Reddit, so I decided to, I asked one of my friends and they didn't answer because I guess they didn't see me ask them. And then I remembered, Google's a thing! So I Googled it, and it's been done since April the 20th, so... For everybody who's been waiting for me to do it since it finished on April the 20th, I didn't know it was done since April the 20th. Now, that being said, unlike my Let's Read of Homestuck, which was a reread of me not really remembering a whole lot of it, I haven't seen the epilogues yet. I don't know anything about them other than the fact that people don't seem to like them very much. So, let's check them out. The Homestuck Epilogues. Start prologue, choose media... Okay, what? It's start and okay, it's the start prologue. Okay. The Homestuck Epilogues, additional contributions by Lalo Hunt and Aisha U. Farah? Rating mature. Category. Is this a, I don't remember the name of that fanfiction website, but this looks like it's from that fanfiction website. Content warning. Graphic depictions of violence, major character death. What? The economy, xenophobia, pregnancy, alternate universe, mind control, non-con, I don't know what that means. Breastfeeding, misogyny, sexism, transphobia, misgendering, canon compliant, canon divergent, redemption, dubious consent, mind break, world war, political intrigue. What? Is this just the epilogues? 10 years after their adventure began, the heroes are enjoying a well-earned retirement on Earth C, but John still has one last choice to make. Okay. Let's hit meat then. Is this just the thing from before where there was information that came out about the background of Homestuck that then got scrubbed from the internet? Because I remember seeing people say it was basically fan fiction, but that looks like it was literally fan fiction. I think it's AO3 or something? Okay, Meat Epilogue 1. Meat was definitely the right choice, you'd think, as grease drips down your chin. The meat is cold and undercooked, so you have to grab it with both hands while you rend it apart with your incisors. It bursts in chunks, filling your mouth with blood and your throat. What? How is grease dripping down your chin if it's still bloody? And your throat with mangled knots of gristle and long strings of muscle fiber. You take big bites, almost too big to swallow, so big that you choke on the meaty mulch and hock some of it up into your nasal cavity. You sneeze out a gooey rope of phlegm and flesh. You stop for a moment to wipe your face, but your chin is still slippery after you wipe the mess away. Slivers of meat catch between your teeth as you masticate with bestial enthusiasm. You use your thumbnail to fish them out. Finish up. Some of the blood has coagulated on the surface of the plate. You grab it from Calliope and lick it clean. She watches you, calm, placid alien. Roxy has leaned forward to scrutinize your slovenly feasting, her eyes wide and intense. You stare back at them with your hands coated in unctuous organic matter and flecks of seared skin. The blood on your hands is so thin that it's like the oily Kool-Aid pooling in your palm. Think suddenly about all the horrible crimes committed by Lord English. God, that guy is the worst. The memory of his stupid face and his terrible art and all the abominable misfortune he caused across multiple universes and timelines makes your meal start to curdle in your stomach. The meat sits there like a big lardy mess, a black hole bursting the universe apart around it. You feel like rocks are churning in your gut and your mouth begins to water hot and sour. The flavor of the afternoon air changes around you and it's too hot, almost suffocating. You swallow back a mouthful of pungent bile as your eyes swim and lose focus. You know what you must do. I know what I must do. Of course you know. What kind of guy would you be if you stayed here when you're the only one in existence capable of completing the grim task? A pretty shitty one who just sneezed up a chunk of raw meat in front of a girl you used to have a gigantic crush on. I have to go back and kill Lord English. You sure? I think so. It'll probably be hard, but I think it's the right thing to do. Everyone is counting on me. Roxy pulls back and takes a sharp breath. It's a very thin breath, and her bottom lip quivers a bit when she sucks it in. She looks disappointed, though you could be misreading her as usual. Calliope looks, well, her face is a permanently grinning skull. You'll be damned if you know what's on her mind either. I understand. No one says anything for some time. A pleasant breeze rolls down from the hills. In the distance, the bell tower chimes twice. You notice that a group of Carapassians... okay, whatever. Have stopped to stare at you with beady-eyed fascination. The front of your shirt is stained with dark, slimy patches from the meat. Christ, why did you have to eat the meat like such a slob? So, is that it? Should I, get going? If this is your decision, then yes. There's no time to lose if the choice you have made is to matter. Calliope closes up the picnic basket and stands. Roxy follows, taking Calliope's hand in hers again. Say goodbye? Okay then, thanks for inviting me to this picnic. Guess I'll see you both when I get back? Neither of them reply. You look from one to the other, then back again. A loud belch escapes your mouth, catching you completely off guard. The gastrointestinal ambush releases an invisible cloud of chewed-up protein odor into the public park. The gross ball of muscle roils and snarls in your belly like an unruly groundhog, prodded yet reluctant to come out and see its shadow. Ugh! Why are you thinking about this? Hug them, dummy. You hesitate a few awkward moments too long. When you go to hug them, they've already turned away, leaving you standing in the middle of the park alone with your arms half raised, cupping the air. It's so pathetic that the eavesdropping Carapassians finally scurry away, overwhelmed by their secondhand embarrassment. You didn't even know they could get embarrassed. You drop your arms and sigh, time to get on with it. Before you leave, you fly back home and take one last look around Salamander Village. You breathe in the crisp, clean air, or clean, crisp air. Listen to the pipes chime. Soak up the unfiltered sunlight. You then head inside for a wipe down, since it feels like you've been making face down snow angels on the floor of an ill-kept slaughterhouse. You head to your bathroom and wash all the meat off your face, but somehow you still don't feel that clean. An invisible layer of oil seems to cling to almost every square inch of your body, no matter how hard you scrub. You go to your bathroom and dig out some stationery, or bedroom desk. Right, dear Roxy, you've never written a note so quickly or with such clarity of heart and mind. When you're done, you write 9 more. Your hands leave grease stains on the paper. You leave 10 envelopes on your bed, arranged in a tidy circle with the names of your 10 closest friends written on them. Then, with absolutely no fanfare, you leave all of them in this idyllic world you've created behind and zap yourself back into canon. Meet number 2. Bro. In the heart of the Troll Kingdom's capital city, Dave and Karkat are sitting on their couch with a foot and a half of space between them. It's a typically picturesque day outside, but Karkat has the curtains drawn shut all the way. This is part of their compromised living situation. Dave puts up with the trollish non-Euclidean architecture and bizarre social mores, and Karkat has adjusted his diurnal schedule to, in theory, see the sun. Bro, you've got to check this out. Karkat is leaning forward, munching on chocolate-coated beetles and totally absorbed in what he's watching. The glow from the television highlights the dark bags under his eyes. Dave reaches out and very gently pokes Karkat in the cheek. Karkat flinches out of his full-body slouch. Not now, Dave! Jake's ass is on the TV again! Stop ogling Jake's ass, this is important. Who the fuck are you to tell me whose ass I should stop ogling? Look, it's absolutely hypnotic. I mean, not in a sexual way per se. Of course. Dave casts a weird look towards the TV where Jake English is shamelessly exhibiting what is definitely his best feature in front of a live studio audience. This is a regular highlight of his and Dirk's hit television show Rumble in the Pumpkin Patch, a schizophrenic cross-section of rap battle and robot wrestling that Rose once described as an exploitative, almost Dada-esque clusterfuck of circumlocutory pretension and sweaty homoerotic attraction. Jake came up with the title for the show and Dirk absolutely loathed it. However, before Dirk could insist on an alternative, Jake had already posted an online poll pitting his idea against whatever Dirk's lame idea is. Needless to say, the second option was much less popular. Karkat gestures at the televised spectacle a bit helplessly. It's all in the way it's being programmed by the station. It took me a while to notice because it's not like I make it a point of staying glued to this phony televised human gladiator garbage. It's soft as fuck. They barely even try to make it seem real. Dave, I consider myself a cosmopolitan individual, a man of learning, but as a native Alternian, I'm actually fucking offended by this insulting display of namby-pamby peasantry. Anyway, the more I watch, I can't but notice the camera's lecherous fixation on this boy's voluptuous posterior. Can't say I blame them, I guess. At least it shows they know exactly what's paying the fucking bills, because it sure as hell isn't the quality of the slam poetry. Okay, who gives a shit about that? Although it pleases me to hear you taking note of the economics of this broadcast, since it is apropos to the topic at hand, but more on that later. Apropos to fucking what? I don't have time to scope the latest meme, Dave. You're coming perilously close to cutting into my important leisure time as it is. Leisure time? This is all you ever do all day. Also, it's not a meme, it's a much more important. Oh, excuse me, hotshot, but what could possibly be more important than the latest meme? That was a joke, FY. Now leave! Jane is running for president. What the fuck? Dave scoots a foot and a half closer so that they can read the news on his phone. Karkat tips his head to the side to get a better view until it bumps against Dave's shoulder. Got the announcement right here. You mean president of Earth? Yeah. Why the fuck would she want to do that? I don't know, Crocker's just an ambitious woman, I guess. This sounds fucking awful. Oh, it is. It absolutely is. Also, like, don't tell her I said this, but I think she's basically a fascist? Why would I tell her you said that? When the fuck was the last time either of us had fuck all to do with Jane? No, I know, just like a figure of speech, I guess. Oh, also she's a fucking xenophobe. Of course she's a xenophobe! Karkat, without drastically altering his position on the couch, turns his head so that he can look Dave straight in the sunglasses. Dave, I don't know if you've noticed, but a lot of humans are? Yeah, I've noticed. Also, what the fuck does she even mean she's running? What a complete load of shit. She's a god. Which one of the toadying idiots on this planet would dare to run against her? She's gonna win in a landslide, assuming she doesn't just waltz into office uncontested. Yeah, I don't disagree. Which is why we have to stop her. Huh? Dave, what exactly are you saying? Are you telling me you're going to run against Jane? Karkat's laughter is uproarious, incredulous. He reaches for another beetle as his guffaws subside and eats it in a manner he hopes will convey his casual contempt for Dave's insinuation. Are you out of your fucking mind? Do you have any idea how rich she is? Dude, we're all rich. We, like, invented the fucking economy. Well, yeah, but not like Crocker rich. Anyway, no, I'm not running. You are. Karkat stops shooting his beetle to the literal spit take right into Dave's face. Me? Yeah, man, it's perfect. You're the ideal opponent to take her down, and to be honest, just what this planet needs. No, I'm not. Yeah, we established this how many years ago? I'm not a leader. I was never meant to be one. Jane probably is, although to be fair, I'm agreeing with you, she's a complete asshole. Didn't Karkat not actually god tier? Shouldn't he be aging for real? I'm just not the one to run an effective operation. Opposition campaign, where? How? I wouldn't even know where to start. Obviously you wouldn't do it on your own, I would help. I'd be your campaign manager or chief strategy guy or whatever. Also, you're wrong. You were meant to be a leader and you'd be a good one. Just not the kind of leader you always thought you'd be. Not a bellicose, conquering dickhead who commands fear and respect. Just a guy who's cool and nice and actually cares about stuff, and everyone loves them for that reason. People don't love me! You're breaking my heart, dude. BRB, gonna hit the toilet for a quick power sob. Shut the fuck up! It still amazes me how little awareness you generally seem to have of how insanely popular you are on this planet. It's fucking adorable. You're wrong! All I see is Jake on TV and Jane in the news stories about her stupid business and Dirk doing whatever fucked up shit he's doing with his celebrity presence. I see your mug a lot too, Mr. fucking political puppet master. You'd get more votes than me, you know it. You're probably just a coward. You only see famous humans on TV because you just avoid all the Troll Kingdom channels deliberately. You hate it whenever you see yourself on TV. Don't pretend I don't notice you change the channel as fast as possible whenever you see yourself. Yeah, well, maybe I... Karkat hesitates and slouches back into the couch cushions, restoring the customary foot and a half of space he and Dave usually keep between them when watching horror movies, eating chips, or talking about the top 600 stupid things Karkat saw earlier that day because he made his intrepid annual decision to go outside. Maybe I don't actually like being famous! And maybe that's as good a fucking reason as any not to run for the fucking presidency of Earth! Not to mention the idea of an election is kind of a fucked up and weird thing to me culturally anyway, and I'm still kind of getting used to the idea that people can just choose their fucking leaders and not have the same old merciless bitch in power for several million years. Well, what better way to acquaint yourself with democracy than take a crack at the high office yourself? Dude, seriously, you would absolutely kill it with the troll voting bloc. The entire kingdom would vote for you. They'd go ballistic if they heard a troll actually had the guts to run against Jane, let alone one of their heroes. And frankly, just between you and me, Jane is... How do I put this? What? Okay, I'll just be the one to come out and fucking say it. She's gonna be a fucking disaster for the economy. I guess I have to admit, part of this, for me personally, it's... What are you saying, Dave? It's about Obama. Very slowly, Karkat raises his right palm and forcefully unites it with his own face. He barely even got a chance to prove himself. He was sworn into office, it was cool, everything was gonna be great, but then everyone died a few months later because of meteors. Dude was just getting warmed up. So sad. I wonder if he would have fixed the economy. I bet he would have fixed the economy. Dave! As much as I enjoy listening to you ramble through yet another chapter of your freestyle Obama fanfiction, don't you already have a basis for knowing how his presidency would have gone? I mean, wasn't he president in the timeline Jane grew up in too? Oh, yeah, I mean, yeah, of course I know that. I just don't like to think about how that timeline. It doesn't really feel like it's canon. Did some clowns take over the world or something? I don't want to talk about it. The point is, in the world that mattered more, I mean, like, the one I belong to that I used to imagine had a real future, that didn't involve meteors or a fish dictator or the American political landscape turning into a nightmarish daily joke. I still wonder what could have been if the old man could have saved us all. But instead he died probably, or maybe not. Maybe there was like an escape hatch in the White House that led to his own secret presidential session of Esberb. What if he's just chilling there now? Dave, I think we've covered your Obama secret session of Esberb theory well enough already. I know. I'm just saying is all. It's a beautiful dream. I fucking get it. But yeah, it's more likely he just died. But maybe it doesn't have to be in vain. What if he died for our sins or something? Sounds fucking meaningless. Yeah, but I mean, like, what if, like, he could be reborn? Yes, we've been over your Obama god tier headcanons too. No, like, reborn as you, metaphorically. You could be the great president he never got the chance to be. You could give the people hope and shit. You could really inspire trolls everywhere, really all non-human kingdoms. Show them anybody can be a president, not just an endless parade of rich humans who think they all know what's best for everybody. Dave? I'm pretty sure anyone could be president. It always seemed to me that humans just seem to be more naturally ambitious, and that's why their power structures took the shape they did the last few millennia. I mean, I don't claim to be an expert on xenopsychology, but for some reason, I struggle to imagine a fucking salamander getting the gumption to throw his crumpled hat into the ring for the presidency of Earth. Or the Carpassians, for that matter. These are not ambitious creatures we're talking about here, Dave. They're a huge flock of wool beasts, Dave. Karkat, don't stereotype. Remember the mayor? Remember how at one point, a long time ago, he raised an army and rebelled against an evil king? Oh yeah. Somehow I always forget he did that. Kind of mind-boggling, really. Holy shit, I missed the mayor. Me too. Dave and Karkat both observe a moment of silence, a delicate and trembling pause of utmost respect to perhaps the greatest and purest being who had ever come forth from Paradox Space. Dave pats Karkat's knee comfortingly, and Karkat lets out a quivering breath of sorrow, of remembrance. Into this reverent silence, did the mayor die? Dave says, I think he would be totally in favor of my idea, by the way. He loved democracy. No shit, he was a fucking mayor! I mean, forget all the lizards and chess guys for a second. Just imagine the good you could do for the troll kingdom. You would do a much better job of speaking to the injustice trolls face than Jane would. What injustices? Dude, please, where to even begin? I know Earthsea has been generally a pretty chill place to live, but there's been some shit going on that is legit creepy. All this population regulation bullshit that's been going on since we basically set up civilization and pieced out to the future. When you think about it in its long-term consequences have been fucking weird. Like, the government being responsible for troll reproduction through cloning, a government that just happens to be predominantly human most of the time. Like, it makes sense on paper at first. No mother grub, gotta keep the race going and expand the population for a good while and get the numbers up. Until Kanaya gets here and hatches the grub, and then I guess the system of natural reproduction can take over in theory, but after so many centuries of that shit, doesn't the weird political imbalance, like, get entrenched? There's a measure of real concern and passion working its way into Dave's voice. Karkat, despite his typical front of loud indignation, hangs on every word. And once Rose and Kanaya crank out a few more broods in the caverns, I guess we're supposed to think it's all fixed, right? Back to trolls as usual or something. But do you really think the human kingdom is going to just sit back and let the troll race proliferate wildly all over Earth? Turn it into another Alternian empire? Folks know the history. They know about the Condescent and all the violence and the hemospectrum and shit. They're scared to death of the possibility that trolls could run wild all over the planet. Dave, I know all this. In fact, you know all this because you've heard me say it to Kanaya 1,000 times. Actually, in an effort to not go fucking insane, I try not to think about it anymore. Well, maybe it's time to start thinking about it again. Bro, did you know sitting on the sidelines in the face of oppression is tantamount to siding with the oppressors? You think a Crocker administration is really going to go through with plans to deregulate troll breeding? She knows exactly what her base wants. I can already see the dog whistle in this press release. She isn't going to do shit. And really, man, if nothing else, and I truly mean nothing, please, for the love of Christ, think of the economy. Ah! The outburst is all Karkat can do to release whatever tension Dave's impassioned appeal was causing to brew inside him. Motherfucker literally just told him to think of the economy. Jane has this reputation for being awesome at business, but in my opinion, she actually sucks. She doesn't seem to even be remotely aware of how much she's leveraged her status as a god to become a big-shot trillionaire. I think she thinks it's all pure business acumen, but I think she doesn't really know what she's doing. Fuckers left and right just be tripping all day long to give her money hand over fists. Of course she's gonna milk her biz cred for all it's worth in this election. She's probably a much better politician than a businesswoman, actually. She's, like, sinister as fuck. I mean, she hides it well, don't get me wrong. Also, she isn't too hard on the eyes, which won't hurt her chances one bit. But she's going to be brutal on their pocketbooks, just you wait. I don't fucking believe this! She doesn't know the nuances of sound, comprehensive fiscal policy like I do. My skills are fucking legendary. I manipulated the stock market to assume control of the literal majority of all currency on the planet once. Granted, the economy was run by lobotomized reptiles, but still! Wait, that was specious. Sorry. The point stands, though. I think I know what I'm doing. What do you think is going to happen when Jane takes over and the economy crashes? I don't know! It's going to be pandemonium. Will it actually be, though? Well, I don't know. Okay, if shit goes sideways, I guess we aren't going to see, like, raggedy turtles and pauper chessmen standing in bread lines or anything. That's just the nature of alchemy-based post-scarcity economies. The depressions tend to be pretty mild. But it will still be bad. A healthy economy is fucking important. If for no other reason than it protects the societal context for what it means to be fucking rich, like us. Just a thought. Let's come up with a different campaign slogan than that, okay? Yeah, but the point is just, I guess, she sucks and shouldn't be president. The end. You don't even have to think about economic shit. I can do that for you. I'll be like the Treasury Secretary or something. Just please tell me you'll do this. Do it for the trolls. Do it for the economy. Do it for the mayor. But most of all, Dave wipes an invisible tear from beneath the rims of his sunglasses. Do it for Obama. God damn it, Dave! I don't really give a fuck about politics or being a leader anymore, and I think you know that. I don't care about the economy, and while I'm sure this Obama fellow was a hell of a guy, I couldn't give less of a fuck about him either, but I do care about you, Dave smiles, so I'll do it. Why not? Nice! Oh yeah, you won't regret this, it's gonna be dope. I think we have a great shot, too, with my political savvy and economic genius and outrageous flair for subversive anti-establishment messaging and propaganda and your big loud fucking mouth. What the fuck? I guess also your charisma and likability and shit. Yeah. You might be right. I'm pretty sure I can fake those things well enough. Oh, also, your weirdly sincere humility. I prefer the term self-loathing, actually. Okay, let's try to avoid that phrase on the campaign trail, too. This already sounds like a pain in the ass. There's a gap of silence in the conversation long enough for the audio from the television to become noticeable. Jake is rambling out a truly dire piece of slam poetry that involves, with zero hint of irony, the terms Batty Fang and Mad as Hops. The neon light blaring out from the screen casts long waves of color along the black walls of the hive and bounces off the glass of the framed print of Dave's least psychologically revealing Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff strip. Carcat sighs and rubs the space between his horns. Can I just read a bunch of bullshit you write for me off a teleprompter? Yeah, there'll definitely be plenty of that. Dave grabs his tablet off the shelf. He pivots back around and points the pen straight at Carcat. The arc of his arm's motion is polished and decisive, even though it's been a long time since he properly used a sword. But you also need to be natural and speak from the heart and shit. Just like, talk to your people about stuff they care about. My people? You mean trolls? Oh, yeah, I guess that sounded bad, sorry. But yeah, exactly, trolls? That's gonna be your base, so you gotta rile them up. Inspire them. I don't think you need any fancy speeches to do that. You'll be a natural. If you say so. So what do we do? Actually do. I mean, next. Dave plops down on the floor and gestures for Carcat to join him on the cold stone. He wipes the tablet on and swipes the tablet on and types the screen with a pen. Carcat lies down on his stomach and props his chin on his palm so that he can watch Dave scribble political ambitions directly into the shadiest paint program on his OS. Time to talk about strategy. We need to rally as much high-profile support to our cause as we can, but there are some, lines of loyalty to figure out. What? I mean, which of our friends are going to side with us and which ones are going to side with Jane? Pretty much all of us are famous and popular all over Earth to some degree. Some of us more so with certain kingdoms than others. So some key endorsements going either way could swing the whole election. Oh, great! So it all comes down to how many famous humans like me better than Jane? We're fucked! Well, not so fast. Let's think it through. You'll have overwhelming support in the Troll Kingdom, and so does Kanaya. She's pretty much a lock to be on your side. Dirk, unfortunately, is just as much a lock for Jane as I'm gonna guess. But after that, it's kind of a free-for-all. Roxy and Calliope will probably be neutral. They have a lot of pull with the Carapassians, though, so that'll be a nice score to sway them. Rose will probably claim neutrality at first, but I'm betting she can be cajoled by her wife to our side, and once we get Rose converting, Roxy probably won't be too hard. As for Jade... They stare at each other. Karkat sighs and Dave raps his pen against the tablet screen in a slow, uneven staccato. I think it's fair to say she's gonna be on our side. Yeah? Maybe a little too much so. Yeah. I wasn't gonna be the one to say it, but yeah, I get what you mean. Of course we want her help and her endorsement will go a long way, but I think we gotta sort out, like, a hierarchical approach to campaign strategy, keep it organized and disciplined with roles well defined, not let things get too murky with, personal shit. I think we're on the same page here, Dave. Okay, cool. Anyway, let's come back to the Jade issue later. Let's see, who else? Egbert? Right. John should be easy to convince, but I'm not sure how much of a factor he'll be in this campaign. I have no idea how long he'll be away on this mission Rose mentioned. What? What mission? Didn't she's been hella cagey about it? Swore me to secrecy until the right time, whatever that is. Anyway, his endorsement will go a long way in swinging the consort kingdom. That would be huge! Are there like 100 billion of those fuckers? So according to that, voting bloc should be able to win this whole thing for us. Well, no, the population isn't that big, but yes, it is. It's by far the most populous kingdom. Swinging them to our side would... Our way should help a lot, but it won't be enough to decide the whole thing. Consorts overwhelm the other kingdoms in sheer numbers, but due to unscrupulous gerrymandering, all kinds of fucked up voter suppression policies, and some electoral counterbalancing measures to account for their ridiculous population growth rate, their voting power per capita is kind of pathetic. Also, it's hard to drive turnout. This may come as a shock, but legions of easily distracted, low-information amphibians primarily concerned with eating bugs and farming goddamn mushrooms aren't the most politically motivated demographic. So, to get them out to the polls, well, we'll need to get them really excited. Okay, I guess I'll have to trust your expertise on that since I don't know the first fucking thing about how to inspire an unintelligent lizard. Yeah, well, I don't either, but that brings us to Jake. Jake's butt flexes on the television as if in response. Karkat cannot avoid watching it from the corner of his eye. Oh, fuck. No, this is important. Jake is a huge wildcard here. I'm sure his endorsement would be completely up for grabs. He could go any way, including just getting turned off by the whole thing and staying apolitical. So we have to be careful about how we approach him. Jake is the only one of us who's wildly popular in all four kingdoms. Well, I can't argue with that. Yeah, so an endorsement from him would be huge. Seriously, just running one ad of him doing his double pistol winking bullshit with a thing under it saying vote Karkat might be enough to win the whole election. Just have to get the fickle bastard to agree to that, which could be tricky, and honestly I'd be shocked if Jane hasn't already started courting his vote. There's no way she doesn't understand the political stakes. So, it all comes down to the Jake stakes then. Pretty much, the Jake stakes 2.0. What? There was a 1.0? When did that happen? Oh, that's like a whole story. Is this going to be another anecdote about the Jake squad I won't care about and don't want to fucking hear? That sounds like the exact kind of opinion you'd have about it, so yeah. Then I don't want to fucking hear about it, okay. Shit, hold up. What? Dave fishes his phone out from his lap. Dirk's calling me. What the fuck? What the fuck does he want? I don't know, he just calls me out of the blue from time to time to talk shit. Usually about nothing whatsoever. Hell, he'll probably joke about how he needs me to cut off his head. Huh? It's a running gag he's been running into the ground for years. Motherfucker is dedicated to his memes, I'll give him that. You said he's gonna be a Crocker loyalist, right? Oh, absolutely, no doubt about it. You don't think he's trying to do some reconnaissance work here, like intel gathering? He doesn't even know you're entering the race yet. No one does. Okay, good. I guess you'd better answer then. Okay, well, I missed the call while we were bullshitting about it, but yeah, I'll just call him back now. Dave hits the callback button. On the television, Dirk's phone begins ringing. What's up? Hey, dude. Dave hears the reply through his phone, and then a moment later through the TV due to broadcasting delay. The whole show is stopped so that Dirk can take this call. The camera zooms in on where he's casually lying on the mat, bruised, a little bit bloody. In the background, Jake strikes an attractive cocked hip pose. He's spinning a revolver around on one finger, affecting an aura of attractive indifference, but the look he's shooting his sparring partner is caught halfway between confused and exasperated. Karkat looks from Dave to the TV and back again. Got your sword handy? Always. Good. See, I'm in sort of a bind here, and I'm afraid there's only one way out. Okay, I'm fucking leaving. And I think I probably am too. I think, this is probably a good stopping point. It's looking like the epilogue will indeed be multiple episodes. Because it looks like it's, well, this page isn't very long. So maybe I should read this page? I'll read this page. John, zap. You zap back into canon. It's been so long you've forgotten what it feels like. The atmosphere smacks unmistakably of, how can you describe it? Relevance? Legitimacy? Funny how you never would have thought to put it that way until you left. It takes you a moment to recognize where you are, even though Rose's instructions were very specific. A place bright and gaudy and filled with the stench of teenage ennui. It's your old living room on the gold battleship where you spent 3 years caught up in a lot of weird furry romantic drama while learning to unlove everything you once held sacred. 3 long, boring years. Years that, technically speaking, never even happened, now that you think of it. You have the very retcon powers that just brought you back here to thank for that. You barely have time to take in the sick nostalgic feeling that all the globes and tangle buddies and avant-garde mime art mimics. The fridge pops open and out roll Aranea and Gamzee. Gamzee honks as his codpiece jiggles ominously. Aranea staggers to her feet, looking rather pleased with herself until she notices you and gapes in bewilderment. What are you doing here? Rose is perfectly clear about what to do next. You make a fist and sort of flinch and look away when you do it. No matter how many years you spent living on a planet with absolute gender parity, this feels wrong. Still, you hit Aranea pretty fucking hard, underestimating your own strength just as badly as you did the last time you clobbered a hapless circuit. She goes flying back, hits the couch, and KOs instantly into a pile of smuppets. You then take her wrist in your hand, slide the ring off her finger, and pocket it. Isn't there something you're forgetting? Gamzee stares up at you with his horrible, limpid eyes. There's something serene, sinister, and sensual all at once about the look he's laying on you. It sends a shiver up the whole length of your spine. Fuck no! Do everyone a favor and put an end to his preposterous narrative relevance. You wisely decide that this clown will lend nothing valuable to the narrative whatsoever if he's allowed to remain outside your childhood refrigerator. You put both hands on his chest and shove him into the fridge where he belongs. He goes easily, issuing only a pair of weak honks and protests. You slam the fridge shut and resolve to never think about Gamzee Makara again. Zap to the next plot point. Okay, so, now I'm going to stop the episode here. Because, for one, it's been half an hour. So that's a good stopping point for the episode. 2, it looks like there's going to be a lot of pages of this, and they're going to be really long, and they're all going to be really weird. And it sounds like even though we knew John had to go back and retcon some things, it doesn't sound like he's retconning the things that actually need to be retconned. Like, I honestly don't understand what going back in time to the boat and punching Aranea in the face has anything to do with anything, nor do I know why she was in the fridge, because that was never a thing that happened. But anyway, this has been Anachi Sasuke. I think this is 147? Maybe 148 of Let's Read Homestuck. I guess I gotta take the little complete marker off of the playlist now. If you liked it, a like and a subscribe would be groovy. If you didn't, you'll need to do either one of those things, and I will see y'all in the next one. Later.